Well, hello, we are live again. It is Thursday, which means we are on day 4 of our 7-day challenge that runs 9 days. It feels like we're doing Taco Tuesday on a Friday, if you have that Lego movie reference. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed your homework yesterday. We're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk a little bit about where we are in this process and what's to come yet. And then we're going to do something kind of crazy and kind of fun today, a little bit of an experiment. If it is a challenge to you, I want you to book a one-to-one with me to dive into it personally. And that is just in case, because if you have any challenges accessing play, and if you are at all if you've been going through a pandemic and you have a level of stress or anxiety in your business that is getting in the way of your play, some of the best learning happens in the unconscious mind through play. So reach out to me if you have a challenge accessing this today. So right now, what are we doing in this live? Well, we're continuing on our confident and bold journey together. And you've probably noticed by now that what we're really doing is clearing out what gets in the way of your existing confident and bold, because you already are. That is your natural state. Anything that is other than that is just baggage and garbage and triggers and strategies that are getting in the way. So enough of that. That authentic, abundant you that we elicited. Remember when we did that bold and confident state, stepping into that moment and elicited that authentic, open, abundant you that was confident and believed anything is possible, that sense of I've got this, that's the real you. You already are all that. Everything we're doing in this challenge is to recover that boldness, that confidence, so that you can enjoy taking action in your business, so that you do take those bolder actions in your business, clearing away the negative, reinforcing the positive, and tomorrow, creating a ritual that actually allows you to turn on that state at the beginning of the day so that it is running for you. So like, if it's a little warm out these days, you've got that air conditioner running in the background, you don't need to think about it. That's what we want to do. Air condition your emotions and create that intentional state that moves you forward. So yesterday's homework, kind of interesting. It's amazing how life changes when you get deliberate, and how the action of rehearsing new strength-empowered behaviors is magical. So why does it actually work? Because your unconscious mind is pretty super cool. Rehearsing those new behaviors actually creates a memory of you having done them successfully. Your unconscious mind has no idea what is real and what is not. That's why you're so easily programmable by society. It's why you were so easily programmed by your parents and your teachers when you were very young. Your unconscious mind sees what you're imagining and thinks that it is true. It builds new neurology. And yes, it's a double-edged sword, but we're wielding it for good and for power. And we're going to keep doing that. Your unconscious mind it doesn't know what time it is either. So it doesn't matter whether you remember doing it at a certain time. It just remembers that you have done it. The more often you imagine it, the more intense attention you bring to it, the more vividly you imagine it, the more your unconscious mind becomes convinced that this is a skill, a behavior, or an attitude that is naturally yours. And so it becomes so. Go back and do this many times through your life. I use this on a regular basis, installing that confidence that I can do the thing that I have not yet done, because when I train my mind to see me doing it well, my mind loses some anxiety about it and installs the neurology of doing it well. And we know this is what makes it automagic and an unconscious habit. So where are we now? Well, we are building those 5 core pieces during this week with a power on ritual. And we're going to go live on the weekend with a couple of extra bonus things that you can take advantage of. But what I want you to do is go live it this weekend. So we're going to design that ritual tomorrow using all the pieces we've done so far, pulling them all together tomorrow into your magic ritual that lets you turn on your confidence, and your bold self. And then on Monday and Tuesday, we're going to come back and add 2 additional quantum layers to that confident, bold self that makes it even more exciting, more fun, and more consistent. So we've been identifying your strengths, becoming aware of them, your core resonance strengths that you can feel the power of, and activating them. See, at first, your vision for your business is inspiring. It lights you up, right? Your why is so strong. Then you start getting into the business plan and the execution, and that can seem daunting and overwhelming. It's hard to envision how you're going to carry out your vision, what specifically you'll be doing. And if you stopped at why, the book and the TED Talk start at why, don't stop there. Finish the planning right down to granular detail. If you have set goals and failed in the past, and haven't we all before we discovered how to succeed at goals, it can seem even more daunting to take on goals. So today we're going to try something fun and playful and powerful. We're going to anchor your strengths to your vision and tie that into micro commitments, tiny tasks that when you repeat them daily will logically result in your success. Taking them so small, the amount of emotion on them is very, very tiny. We often overestimate what we can do in a short time with big changes, and we underestimate what we can do in a long time with small changes. Good morning. I only see you as Facebook user. Unfortunately, you need to give StreamYard access so I can see who you are. But good morning, good morning. That was Robin Conley Downs who said that quote, "Bold action is not about huge, dramatic spurts of action." You know, those people that say, I just need 2 weeks on a Caribbean island to plan my business. I do need those 2 weeks, but not to plan my business, and neither do you. Though you may do that sometimes, that big dramatic spurt, the big planning session, it's not sustainable. And then you can feel its lack when you don't have the time and the resources to do it. But in reality, success is a series of small wins, the accumulation of tiny tasks that over time take you to your goal. First, it's about finding those tiny tasks so that they aren't big and daunting, and so that you know what you're going to do, so you don't have to think about it and overthink about it and then get up from the computer and go, I don't know what I was going to do. Second is being motivated to do them. So we mentioned they're so small, they really don't have much charge for or against them. They're easy to do, but they're really easy not to do. And just a quick note on waiting for the emotion to take action. It's actually action that leads to emotion. Sometimes it's the action of making yourself feel the emotion, but when you start working, you will feel motivated. When you start creating, you will feel creative. When you be loving, you will feel love. Try that out. It can feel like you have complete writer's block and you sit down and you say, well, I'm going to work for 15 minutes on this. And 3 or 4 minutes in, you've got a timer set. It's still time to be writing. Suddenly, your brain starts to engage and basically says, all right, if you want to be creative, let's do it. So you don't have to feel motivated to tackle a task, but it does make it more fun. And that's what today is about. We're going to pick one goal, break it into tiny tasks to make it super easy. And then we're going to power it up, make it super desirable to do. This is that anchoring in the vision to the task. I'm going to try to keep this at 20 minutes. And I am so sorry if I get too geeky and I go over. This is powerful stuff. And there's some interactive activity that we're going to do here. So first, know that we all have a lot of tasks on our to-do list that shouldn't even be there. I'm not going to dive into the Pareto principle, but if you want me to in a separate live, talk about how to 80-20 all your tasks, I would love to do that. It is magic as well. But as soon as you realize that you will never get all of the items on your to-do list done, let that sink in. You will never get all the items on your to-do list done. You will stop doing the low impact, easy stuff first, the non-urgent, non-important, just to get that check mark. That's bad dopamine. You'll start spending more time in your genius zone on purpose, going there first, and in your business owner zone, not your employee zone. And realize that to-do lists, it only has a few items on it that you should be doing yourself that actually really move you toward your vision of success. So as you grow and scale, even the client work, the marketing work, the sales work, all that employee type work eventually gets delegated. Yeah, I just planted a hypnotic suggestion there. That's all employee work as you grow a business. As the business owner, though, what you really focus in on is what will move the needle forward toward your future, working on your business. And it usually comes down to just a few core functions that when you look at your to-do list, you will see it. It'll be glaringly obvious. Usually in the realm of creative and visionary work and connection work. Visioning, writing, video, workshops, reaching out to clients, following up with leads, reaching out to new and existing partners, speaking on stages, working on the business. And when you examine those closely, they can actually be broken down further because each of those is a big mush. It's undefined, and that can make it something that is hard to get to, hard to even imagine doing. And remember, when you visualize doing something, you now know that you have the skill and talent and drive to do it. So examine them closely, and they can be turned into tiny daily tasks. So here's the challenge. Remember, they're super simple, super fast, and really small, so they're easy to put off. If I don't call, refer Rachel today, it's not a big deal. I could call her tomorrow or next week. It is not going to make or break my business today. But if I put off those little tasks for 300 days, that's another lost year where I look back and I say, I was sure that was going to be my year. What happened? Your job is to decide what are the tiny tasks that you are committed to doing every day. Wouldn't that be great? To just know if I sit down and I do 10 minutes on this and 10 minutes on that, and I do it every day, a year from now, I've built a solid base to that business goal. It's a decision that you want to turn into a commitment, tiny tasks that you're committed to doing every day and making them non-negotiable. So you make the decision once, and then from now on, you never have to think about it again. Thinking about should I or shouldn't I takes a lot of energy, and you are far less likely, because you have a human brain, to say, yes, I should. And you'll also notice that even the word should has a lot of weight and exhaustion to it. You want it to be like brushing your teeth in the morning. You don't say, should I do personal hygiene today? Or having that great cup of coffee. For me, I have a cup of coffee in the morning, 1 cup with caffeine in it. I love it. And it's non-negotiable. I do that coffee. I will be late for things with, well, not with clients, but I'll be late for things with my family. I will put off doing other things just to make sure I get that cup of coffee. Showering every day, non-negotiable. When something's non-negotiable, you don't ask about it. You just do it. And your brain loves, loves, loves non-negotiable tasks. No thinking required. How energy efficient is that? Remember? So you'll see in the homework sheet that you're going to break this down, go from your vision to a goal into the criteria for how you'll know that you met that goal, and then what tiny tasks you can do to initiate and follow through on that. So here's an example. So let's say you want to be known as the expert on something. What needs to happen? How will you know that you're the known expert on something? Perhaps you would be speaking on 1 stage a week about that topic. Do that 50 times, you will be known as the expert on that. Or maybe because you would rather write than speak, because that's where one of your strengths is, then perhaps it's writing a book and you're going to work on that book every day, writing 2 or 3 pages. See how that breaks down into something doable instead of saying, I shall sit at my desk today and write my book and become an expert. It's, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to do 15 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever that works out for you. Or how about build my business through a solid referral network? That's a great one for entrepreneurs. So criteria to reach that goal, 10 solid referral or JV partners that each send me 10 clients a year. Measurable. You can visualize that. So then the tiny tasks for that, reach out to 1 existing or potential referral partner or JV partner every day to give or request support. The how of how you do those little tasks and how you decide what are the tiny tasks should be based on your strengths. If you love doing video, do video. You may need to get the transcription so that people can read if they would rather read. And James, this should resonate with you, right? If you are great at video, start from there. If you're reaching out, maybe you send them a voice message. Maybe you'd rather do a Loom video or phone them. Are you a phone person? Or maybe you're a social media person. Go tag them on something they'd love to see. Share their post. Or maybe you're one of those people that loves to make connections. Connect them to someone new. Look at your top strengths. Look at those criteria and say, how can I achieve these criteria using my strengths? Once you identify your top 3 tiny tasks, you're going to actually put them in that one page on your worksheets that you're getting today. I want you to print them out and then literally frame them. Build a container around those tasks that includes your strengths, your vision, and your criteria. You'll get it when you see the worksheet. And then post them in your environment, right where you'll carry them out, in a way that makes them stand out. Now, maybe you'll put it as wallpaper on your phone as well, or a sign in front of your computer, but somewhere obtrusive. You might notice too, since these are daily tasks, some software will help you plan and track them. Simple Excel spreadsheet. Don't get yourself lost in analysis paralysis trying to figure out, well, how will I track these? And then you get doing the busy work instead of the work. So you may already have software that's going to work perfectly well for this. Don't overthink. That was an empty cup of coffee. So now we have a tiny task to work with. Let's say we choose reach out to a referral or JV partner every day. Is that clear enough? Or, as soon as you sit down and you're like, I shall reach out to a JV partner. Do you know what that means? If you sit down, can you go, oh yeah, boom, do it. If you have to think about it, what does that mean? How will I do it? What would that be today? Resistance will build up. And Benjamin Hardy, who has a great book called Personality Isn't Permanent, and another book called Willpower Doesn't Work, Benjamin Hardy, will tell you that if there is 20 seconds of delay, the resistance can be too big. So it might be just getting more specific. Reach out to a JV partner on Facebook by commenting on or sharing their post or messaging them with a question or a resource. And then note the date you last did that, contacted them in your Excel sheet. And then repeat until you spent 10 minutes on it. Tiny, easy to put off, easy to do, very low energy. So I know we're at 15 minutes already, but we're going to power it up now to make it super desirable. So let's get more of your unconscious mind involved. We've got it being able to visualize it because it's tiny and you know what you'll be doing. We have it in front of you in your environment. Remember, you create your environment so your environment can create you. 2 steps in your unconscious mind. Now, what if that task could be tied to your vision? So how does this work? The brain codes things differently depending on how desirable and attainable it thinks they are. How we store our internal representation of ideas and events is like a movie in the brain. So they have visual, auditory, you can hear them, you can touch them, there's some feelings, there's smell, sometimes even a taste to them. Even if you don't see the visuals, when I say that you have a movie in your brain, you have visual in there. Just don't overthink it and just let yourself sense it. For instance, if I tell you, don't think about a blue tree, boom, there's a blue tree in your mind right now. Even if you don't have a vivid visual picture of it, you know there's a blue tree in your mind, right? Perfect. And how you picture it is just right for you. It's a certain distance from you. It might be framed. It's obviously color because I inserted blue in it. But here's the interesting thing. You might have removed the color and have a different sense of what makes blue. So we're going to play with how we store that picture because we store things that we love and want up close and colorful. And we store things we don't want, like over there somewhere, and gray and small and down on the ground and dirty and fuzzy. Want it? It's nice and up front. So think about that vision of your success that we've done earlier this week. An image that you have just achieved it. You're doing what you love. You're being rewarded for it, respected and valued. You have freedom and certainty because you have arrived and you feel great. You did it. As you think of having achieved that vision, do you have a picture? All right, very quickly, without thinking about it consciously, we're going to ask your unconscious mind, where is it? How far away is it? How big is it? Is it black and white or color? Is it bright or dim? Is it moving or still? Is it three-dimensional or flat? Focused or unfocused? Crisp or blurred? Is it framed in or is it panoramic? Is it associated? You're in the picture looking through your own eyes, or is it dissociated? You can see yourself over there in it. Do you hear yourself saying anything or hear other people saying things to you? We've just elicited how you store things that have positive motivation to them. Cool, right? Now, here's the funny thing. That task that we just talked about doing, I'm going to go on social media and I'm going to reach out to a potential JV partner or an existing JV partner and like their post or share something with them. You probably have it stored in a different way. Now, even that first image of positive motivation, I want to play with that again. So let's take that picture of you've just achieved your vision. Do you have the picture? Great. Make that picture bigger, brighter. Bring it up really close so it's right in front of your nose. Make it colorful. Step into that picture and hear yourself saying, yes, I did it. Notice how the feelings build inside you. And then step out of that picture again. Clear the screen. How is that different? How you experienced that picture? And as you think of that vision of success and how real it is to you, how certain you are about it, how is that different now? Because we've just moved how you store it. Cool, right? So now I want you to think of that task of reaching out to the JV partner every day as a non-negotiable habit. Do you have a picture? Great. Now make that picture bigger, brighter, bring it up really close so it's right in front of your nose. It's right here. Fill the screen with it. Make it colorful. Step into it and imbue it with your core strengths. Feel those strengths just appearing and vibrating inside of you. Fill it with the excitement of having achieved your vision. Hear yourself saying, yes, I did it. Lock that feeling in place with that task, and then just come back to now and clear the screen. When you play with how you store something that you were not motivated to do, and you add those motivated internal representation submodalities, jargon there, that's what we call those, whether it's close or far, it changes how you think about it, what you believe about it. So for homework, I want you to be ready to play today. Play is one of the best ways to create change. So why not let it be fun and easy, since that works best anyway? Your unconscious mind knows exactly how to do this, even if your conscious mind is fighting you and going, am I doing this wrong? If you do need help with it, seriously, reach out to me. Let's do a one-to-one, take 15 minutes. Your unconscious mind does run very, very fast, even faster when it trusts the guide. So if you're like, I'm too nervous, try it a couple of times, play with it, laugh. Laughter does not break the spell, and make it powerful. And if it would be more powerful doing it with me, absolutely, let's do it. It is so fun and it's profound. And we can do some other little demos too. Maybe you'd like to stop loving chips. Let's help you discover that you don't like them anymore. Same thing. We'll turn them into tofu, unless you love tofu. So your homework's already in your inbox at the archive link of those mailings that I popped in there. I'll throw it in the group as well shortly. I'm going to be doing some bonus lives Saturday and Sunday, some more sophisticated, in-depth, because you can tell I want to keep talking and I don't want to hold you up in the daily section. If you have some requests, I'm going to put a little post in the Facebook group. And if you're not watching on Facebook, just email me or text me. Pop your questions, your challenges, your curiosity. If you're like, yeah, go geek over the Pareto principle, go dive deep into triggers. Let's do some more submodality work. Just let me know. And if you just want more examples of things, or if you might like to pop onto StreamYard with me and we'll do some coaching, we'll do that live. I would love to do that. That would be a lot of fun. So pop it into that post and I will see you on the Facebook group, and I'll see you tomorrow.